Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. This week we have a great show. I'm joined by my man Vladimir Lenin, leader of the Bolsheviks in Russia, my homie King Menelik II from Ethiopia, my fellow French pal Robespierre, and some random English worker dude we found in the streets of London during the Industrial Revolution.
Thanks for having us.
I'm confused. Why am I here?
So how does the show work? You ask us questions?
We take questions live from viewers right over Twitter, broski. Okay, the first question was sent in by @livinghistory247. What is the best style of government?
The communist government is superior to all.
Monarchies are obviously the only way to rule effectively.
Power to the people. Democracy all the way. It gives everybody equal rights and that they deserve. And also, America is one of the strongest countries in the world and it's democratic.
I'm happy as long as my government's allowing my union.
Nah, fam. You gotta go with dictatorship, as long as I'm in charge. That's the best. Dictatorship is the best form of government. It can get the most accomplished, and it's the most efficient.
Communism is superior to all. There are jobs for everyone, and everyone is equal, and there are no unfair social classes. Communism is the best form of government.
That's a bunch of mumbo-jumbo, Lenin. What are the people supposed to strive for in communism? I rose from humble beginnings in Corsica to leader of France. People need the ability to rise.
They do their part. We are a community. Having a strong community allows for strong power. How many countries are communist anyway?
Only 5 of them.
Then the world is still just as bad. All land should become communist. The class system still controls the workers.
So, there is nothing wrong with the class system. Everyone has a chance to succeed if they work hard. I'll tell you one way in which society indeed has progressed. These European countries have gotten rid of their colonies, which hurt everyone and help only a select few. In this manner has society progressed.
I agree. Colonies deserve just as many rights as everyone else. For everything else, though, I don't understand the problem. Democracy rules the world and is one of the best forms of government. However, they are too afraid to kill the enemies of the state.
If we have colonies, then I'd be out of work. Them colonists would have done all the work for less money. I'm kind of glad we don't have them around anymore.
Forget colonies. You're all a bunch of wussies. I almost conquered all of Europe.
And I understood the Italians were talking about. We all did something to do. Save for that filthy Englishman in that factory. From whence did he find him anyways?
Factory workers are more important than you for the good of society. While you sit on your throne doing nothing, he supports the people of his nation.
So I should have left the Italians to conquer us? My victory was unimportant? I do absolutely nothing?
But was it you on the front lines? Did you actually fight? Or did you just sit back cowardly waiting for your soldiers to win?
Every man should fight for their rights. It is necessary so that they are not taken away.
You speak of rights. Last time I checked, you took away the rights of thousands when you beheaded them.
I also helped to foster one of the first democratic governments that was a model for yours.
Alright, that's enough. Let's go to the next question. This one's a doozy. It's sent in by Cleopatra876. It's, what do you guys think of the world wars?
So sadly, these youngsters are fighting for nothing. Back in my day, we fought for freedom and the consolidation of power. We nobly defended our homeland from invaders, and I founded the Kingdom of Ethiopia.
I don't know. In the second bout, they fought for democracy and its great values. That's a very important cause, you know. Instead of merely fighting for resources or land, these people were fighting for beliefs in a way of life.
The first is just a waste of life, and so is the second under Stalin's dictatorship. The Tsar should have never sent us into battle. He should have focused on our problems before the needs of others.
Yeah, the factories all got abandoned and filled with women when we went off to war. Don't know how I feel about that. The trenches were brutal. So many friends died around me. You guys are lucky that you didn't have to feel that pain.
It's a dude's job to go off to war and fight. I went to military school. They taught me how to be a man. If I had the weapons they had in the World War, I would have easily conquered Europe.
Then it's a good thing you didn't. Those weapons would have killed innocents and changed the lives of millions.
There is nothing wrong with killing the enemies of the state to preserve it. Those men were soldiers. It is their duty to kill, fight and kill. That has stayed the
But
same.
what about the innocents?
I'm sure the soldiers can see the difference between them and the enemy.
Maybe back then, though yours didn't. But now that nukes and all that have come, there's no way to tell. Have you ever heard of Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Those weren't soldiers who perished. War's gone way worse.
Okay, that leads us to the last question. I came up with this one myself. Has society progressed over the last 300 years or not? This question will work differently. We'll all answer in turn.
I feel that since you were the one who came up with this question, Napoleon, you should answer it first.
Okay, in my opinion, the world has progressed over the last 300 years. There are much more opportunities for people nowadays. Poor, isolated farmers can grow up to be great politicians and leaders in the military. Countries like America are amazing with their success. However, I'm not impressed by the quality of dictators in this era. Democracy seems to work okay, but it isn't as efficient as absolute rule. Also, war has changed for the worse. Nobody is out facing each other. It's just a bunch of fancy drones. But I am a fan of all the technological progress in general.
The world is better now that these European countries have stopped strangling the world to shape it in their image. Instead, many people in these former European colonies have grown just as modernized as their former overlords. And yet, there's so many who suffer as a result of the effects of their grasp on the world. So many dictatorships have risen in their wake. Many are also switching to forms of governments that are unusual and unsuccessful. Not all countries have been successful as mine, and it's surviving and adapting to the modern customs to the local ones.
The world has progressed, but society has not. There have been many technological advancements, and that is great, but people are still selfish. All the countries that deny communism have not given it a chance. If they embrace the idea of communism instead of rejecting it, society would improve greatly. All people would be happy, and they would not argue about unfair rights. Everybody would be equal, thus creating a better society.
I think that you can't live a good life on a factory job, especially today. So for me, I think that society has not progressed as much as someone like me would have hoped, because the line of work that I'm in is still not giving me everything that I think I deserve, considering all the hard work I actually do. I think if society had progressed, then I would have a much better life and would be paid a lot more. But with all the new technology, I could be completely out of a job, and they wouldn't have to pay a machine to do my job. Technology is the only way that I see society has progressed, and I'm not so happy about that.
There's been much progress in terms of democracy's spread and how it has formed. It has taken a central role in the world government system. This is very good, as it has helped society grow and prosper. However, those nations that oppose the values embodied by the American and French Revolution still pose a great threat to the individuals and their rights.
Oh dang, that's probably the best talk show yet. And it looks like that's all the time we have. Thanks for tuning in, and special thanks to all you guys who joined me.
Thanks for having us.
Tune in next time. We have the Beatles, Skrillex, and a guy we found lost in the Rockies.